like me quitting opened up a lot for like all of us. Rob quit too, you know. It kind of just freed things up. I mean, I don't know how they see it. You know, we've only hung out once in 2 years, and it was really cool. And I want to be involved in their life. You know, I mean, like life is just crazy, like on every level. You know, for me, Zao taught me everything. It taught me what God like truly is. It taught me, you know, what it really feels like to have all your friends abandon you and be totally alone. It taught me, you know, not to put certain things before other things, you know. It taught me most of all, like, you have to know yourself, you know. But I mean, I wish them the best, you know. I mean, I have a new band and, you know, we're getting ready to tour and all the time, and it's cool and they're happy, you know, and I think it's crazy. It's a wild ride, you know, like what, 20 members in freaking 10 years, you know, so it's good. It's cool.
I was bummed every time I heard about a Zao farewell tour, like not because, oh, it's another one, but because I think they're a great band. If they could do it till they're 50, I think they should. I think they're amazing. Yeah.
I think that the one thing that's held strong over the last few years, there's been some different things happening in the band and changes and lineups and just changing and evolving. I think that there has been that strong core of like Dan, you know, whether Dan's in or out, Dan's always he's always in, he's on every record. And no matter what really happens, it's like that trinity of like Russ, Scott, and Dan is like always there. And I think that like you were saying, no matter what happens, that's the core, and like that's like where the music comes from. That's where the talent is, and that's like ultimately like Zao as we know it. And I think that as long as that's strong, everything else will be all right.
I'd be mad at them if they stop now. I mean, on that tour, Scott had a big long talk with me about, you know, the direction that the band wants to head in after this record, and from what he was saying, I really think that they are going to try to stretch what they do more, because they're a band that influenced legions of bands that are out today. And I think that, you know, now's the time that they can go on and forge a completely new sound that'll go on to influence people again. And I think that they'll have big enough musical ambitions and enough talent to really kind of shock people at what they have the talent to do. And I hope that they, you know, I hope their next record's the best record they ever made, and I hope they keep going.
Just looking at it, just hearing kids come up to you and saying, or, you know, explaining how this time in their life, you know, how Zao has affected them and how this song or this lyric meant this, you know, crazy part in their lives. I'm blown away about all that stuff, because we just kind of went with the moment and did the best that we could, and then it turned out to be this crazy, you know, crazy entity.
Funeral God, we put that out, and the band and all of us knew that what we're doing here is proving to everybody that Zao is in fact like a band. They're back, and they're not just throwing out a record. So, you know, the kids that have been buying their records for the last 10 years are going to buy it, and they're going to bounce again. Like, that's why they've toured so hard on this record, like, to make it clear that they're a fully functioning real band. And, you know, I think we proved that with Funeral God, and now with this next record, you know, we're not looking to, like, we don't need to reestablish the band. You know, we've done that, and they've done that, and this next record is like, you know, they're going to sit back and just flow, right, what they're going to write, and, you know, like, really step out and be like a, you know, full-time band that's just, you know, measures up to, like, you know, their legacy.